Hello, welcome. My name is Megan and I'm the owner of Paint and Sip VT. It's nice to meet you. In today's video, I wanted to talk a little bit about how our paint classes work. I get a lot of very specific questions around what they can expect, what participants can expect, what a host can expect, and I wanted to put together a video just to give you a snapshot of how this all works on the day of the event. So leading up to the day of the event, I would be mailing an individual paint kit to every participant, whether there is 10 people in your group or 100. You and I, as the host, would coordinate those details. I would get those paint kits out plenty of time in advance, and the participants would receive those paint kits at their homes. If you have a hybrid working situation and you'd like me to mail 30 kits to your office and 30 kits to individuals, I do that too. So, no problems there. Participants would receive their paint kits. They would also receive a Zoom link or a link to the Connect before the class. So you and I will partner on, if you prefer Zoom or a platform that's most comfortable for your company. That link would be sent to the participants in that meeting invite before the class. So the day of, I arrive 10-15 minutes early just to make sure that the connection's working great, I'm set up, and I'm ready to answer any questions or help anyone if they would join early. Participants are usually coming off another meeting or coming off of lunch, so they typically show up, maybe 5 minutes of, unless there's a bunch of early birds. That works too. So I'm there ready to go to help folks answer questions. The kickoff it could be anything you really want. You as a host could say, everyone, welcome. This is Megan Van Wart. She's the owner of Paint and Sip VT. She's going to be leading our virtual paint class today. That's typically how it goes. And then I, as the instructor for the group, I would tell you all a little bit about me, where I live, and a little bit about my business, but more importantly, getting you set up for the activity. So the context of the activity is a little bit of team building, but it's also a little bit about folks to just really calming down, getting them set for, well, what is the painting experience really like? Some folks may feel nervous that they may have not painted in a very long time, and that's okay. I always kind of cut that notion at the beginning, saying, hey, if you haven't painted before or in a really long time, don't worry. I'm going to be here to support you. I will always encourage participants to be themselves and incorporate their own ideas along the way, because you may have the creative types and then you may have the non-creative types, which is always a fairly good mix in each class. So for the creative types, I say, hey, if you want to incorporate your own ideas, you want to make a purple sky with yellow flowers, go for it. With art, it's good to not prohibit. I always recommend and will always encourage folks to incorporate their own ideas along the way. I always say it's okay to break the rules. This class is about experiencing and engaging with art in a new type of way. So I always leave that open-ended. But the class itself, I'll be leading through a well-paced, art activity based on the inspiration that you've selected, making sure we hit that 90-minute mark and that we're engaging team members along the way. So these events, the underlying value is really all about making sure your team members can kind of take the weight off their shoulders. They're practicing and creating something new and different, but it's really about them engaging with one another and them recharging on their own. So there's a lot of hidden and underlying benefits, not only for the individuals, but how they engage and how they have fun with one another in this environment, in this creative environment. So that's really a big component of these team building paint classes. It's really about giving people back a little time for themselves, but also to engage with their team in any way. So that's a little bit about the pace. I'll definitely encourage breaks throughout, so for people to check in on one another. So if we all check in and see how Bob is doing, and then how is Sally doing? And we always kind of bounce around, and we always take a group shot at the end of the class. So day of the event, you don't have to do hardly anything. Really, the upfront work that you and I will partner to set up the event is just collecting the addresses and finding a date and time. Besides that, I am the sole, the leader per se on executing this successful event for you and your team. But I hope that snapshot was helpful. I'm happy to answer any additional questions that you may have. But again, my name was Megan, and it would be a pleasure to work with you and your group. So please reach out if I can help you with anything else. Thank you.